This 1 Degree Outside video is brought to you by Attitash Mountain Village. Book your stay directly through the link on our homepage, onedegreeoutside.com.
Weekend edition. Hi, everyone. Meteorologist Danielle Noyes. Good Saturday morning to you, and hello to those of you that may be tuning in on Sunday. We'll take good care of you as well. Slick start out there. Now, just a trace to a few hundredths of freezing rain. That's all it takes to really create slick travel. So icy spots with some slippery conditions on anything untreated. Showers and a band of rain come through for Sunday night into Monday, another quick shot of rain, and that also comes with mild air and brief gusty wind too. So we'll talk about all of this over the next several minutes. Predicted icing, notice the area shaded in pink. And if you're not in a pink area, either side of the Mass Turnpike, keep in mind that you want to keep a close eye on the car thermometer today because the pavement temperature usually lags a little bit behind the air temperature. So if it's 33, maybe even 34, and it looks a little bit slick and the surface is untreated, it may be slippery out there. So use caution all the way from the Connecticut River Valley in through the Route 2 corridor, Merrimack Valley. And one of my big concerns too is for southeast New Hampshire and southern Maine that we hang on to this cold air a little bit longer through the afternoon to early evening, maybe get a few tenths of an inch of this light freezing rain that comes down. So either side of 93 and then extending into southern Maine, we may get a period of this light freezing rain that lingers just a little bit longer before we can scour out that colder air. Also notice far northern and eastern Maine gets these pockets of light icing too that are extended into these areas through late this evening and overnight tonight before we can get that mild air to push in. So bottom line, use caution if you're traveling across New England today in those areas that I just outlined. It's all with the warm front that's lifting northward here over the course of the day today as high pressure continues to slide offshore. So it's not a ton of precipitation that's coming in. Then we get a little lull in the action with pockets of showers, especially south of the Mass Turnpike through the afternoon to early evening. Then for our Sunday, another warm front lifting north with pockets of rain, some downpours over the morning and afternoon. Will lift from south to north. Then we'll get a little break in the action. So it is by no means a washout for our Sunday. Notice the heavier rain is still off to our west. This is actually going to cause some severe weather today down through the mid-Atlantic and down through the Carolinas. Otherwise, it sweeps through generally west to east during the overnight, Sunday night into Monday morning. So the Monday morning commute will be wet, but notice this is not a snowy or a wintry scenario with enough mild air coming in, even all the way to the Canadian border. So pockets of rain, some heavier downpours, an isolated rumble of thunder can't be ruled out, particularly in southeastern Massachusetts to the Cape, Monday morning to midday. In and out of here fairly quickly, a progressive system. So by Monday afternoon, we're drying out, we get some breaks of sunshine, and then we may flip over to some wet snowflakes as some cooler air does start to come in. Generally quieter day on Tuesday for the last day of 2024 here, although the clouds will increase, and that's out ahead of another disturbance that comes in that may be more of a wintry scenario for New Year's Eve night into New Year's Day. And I talked more about that in Insights if you want to check it out. Precipitation forecast have played things through Monday evening, so I can show you the totals here. 1/4 to a 1/2 inch in much of northern New England, and either side of a 1/2 inch in much of central New England. Far southern New England, 1/2 inch to an inch that does end up coming down with some locally higher totals from Connecticut stretching into Rhode Island and southeastern Massachusetts. All right, let's take you through the numbers. Now, highs today will reach into the 30s and 40s, but it takes much of the day to get there, particularly in those spots from southern Maine to southeast New Hampshire. Look at Manchester, for example, 33, okay? So that's why those spots that I indicated may hang on to some of those pockets of slippery conditions and icing through late this afternoon and evening. Wind starts to shift in out of the south. Now, if you're headed down to Gillette Stadium this afternoon, dressing for temperatures that will feel like the mid to upper 30s. There's not going to be much wind, but there will be some periodic showers around, rain nearby for tailgating, and then these periodic showers through the afternoon to early evening. So a little bit of a damp, raw feel. Overnight tonight, some 20s in northern New England to lower 30s. So that's why I say those pockets of light freezing rain that expand, particularly across northwest Maine and northern Maine through the overnight tonight before we can get that mild air to push in. Temperatures will be kind of steady and actually rise through the overnight along the south coast. For Sunday, we jump into the 50s for much of southern New England. The wind starting to increase out of the south. 40s in far northern New England. Will hang on to some of that light freezing rain in far northern Maine and northern Aroostook County until we can get the temperatures to rise. It is this brief shot of mild air that comes in. So Sunday night, we stay in the 40s in many areas, and then pockets of rain fill in, continue into Monday morning and midday, but then push out of here fairly quickly. Notice the temperatures here. We're talking highs in the mid to even a few upper 50s possible in southern New England, and then 40s in the north. That wind is going to increase out of the south 10 to 20 miles per hour. And I do think there'll be a brief period of some wind gusts that may go in excess of 40 miles per hour. I broke down that timeline in insights that you can check out, of course, with all of our weather information on our website, the number1degreeoutside.com, atop of our app and social media as well.